Hello, I'm Hugo from eFloorball.net. Today I'm going to go through a couple of things that you need to think about when choosing a new floorball stick. We've got over 700 sticks at eFloorball, and hopefully this information can help you narrow that number down quite a lot. As always, you need to figure out what type of player you are before you pick a floorball stick. Recreational players need a completely different stick from professional players, so we'll divide this video into three categories: beginners and recreational players, advanced, and finally professional players. The first and maybe most obvious thing you need to figure out if you're a beginner or a recreational player is whether you have the blade to the left side of your body or to the right side of your body. Secondly, the stick length. Generally about 2 to 3 inches above your belly button, and for adults that normally varies between 92 and 101 centimeters. If you want some more detailed information on this, then you can always head over to eFloorball.net and check out the section about how to choose a floorball stick. Next up, in many ways the most crucial part of a floorball stick, but also something that you can change, so don't get too stuck on which blade is on the stick you choose. What's important to think about with the blade on your stick is whether it's pre-curved or whether it's straight, because if you shoot a lot in a game, then you're going to want a blade with a bit of hook. And if you're more of a playmaker and you dribble and pass a lot, then a straighter blade might be better for you. But as I said, you can change the blade. The most important part is the shaft, the length, and the flex, which brings us on to the next step. The flex. Flex refers to how much the stick can actually bend in the moment of the shot, or a little bit. You can also filter by flex on our web page, and here are some general guidelines to help you find a good flex for you. 36 to 32 is normally used by children, 31 to 29 is used by juniors, and 29 to 26 is used by advanced and professional players. Flex 25 is the stiffest shaft there is, and it's generally used by players who shoot with a lot of muscle power. Another thing to think about when choosing a floorball stick is the material that the stick itself is made of. There are two materials, glass fiber and carbon fiber, and then there's composite, which is made out of both glass fiber and carbon fiber. Both materials have good and bad properties, and if you want to get the best out of the two of them, then go for a composite stick. You can find various ratios of carbon fiber and glass fiber in floorball sticks, and the higher the carbon fiber, the lighter it's going to be, and the higher the glass fiber, the sturdier and heavier it's going to be. And you guessed it, you can filter by material on eFloorball.net as well. The shaft comes in different shapes, which is a regular round, square, and then a couple of varieties of oval. A square is a bit like a hockey stick, which makes sense for people who come from ice hockey. Round is what most people use, and then there's oval, which is exactly what it sounds like, an oval shaft. And then Oxdog has developed a variation of this, which they call sweet oval. And then there's drop oval, which is oval at the top of the stick, but then it rounds down so it becomes round where you hold your bottom hand as well. And finally, my favorite, different shaft technologies. There's the obvious one, a straight shaft, but then there's also a curved stick, which looks a little bit like this. Not a little bit, it looks very much like that, because that is a curved stick. And then there's tip curve, which is basically a straight shaft all the way towards the bottom of the shaft, and that's where you have a little bit of curve to help your shots, but still get the feeling of a straight stick. Let's see how we can choose a floorball stick directly on eFloorball.net. You click the menu and then floorball sticks and then show filters. Let's say that we want a stick that's 96 centimeters long, we want it to be left, and we want the flex to be 27 millimeters. We want the shaft to be round and made entirely out of carbon because we want the stick to be as light as possible. Now we get a long list of sticks that are applicable to our criteria, which makes it a lot easier to narrow down your search for a new floorball stick. If you're still not quite sure of what stick to choose, then feel free to write us, because we'll be happy to help you find a new floorball stick for you. Good luck at finding a new floorball stick on eFloorball.net. But seriously, write to us if you're unsure of anything, because we are professionals and we're more than happy to help. Also check out the sticks from Floorball because they look really good and that's nice. See you later.